We're joined by Paul Walker in Cambridge, Massachusetts. He is the Vice Chair of the Arms Control Association Board. Many thanks for speaking to us on TRT World, Paul. So,
nice to meet you.
What do you make of this report? What is it telling us and what is it not telling us?
Well, it is telling us that, first of all, chemical weapons were used, not nerve agent, as your report has noted, but in fact chlorine. If you look at all the samples that are listed in this report, almost every single sample has some sort of chlorine or degradation product of chlorine in the sample. So it's important in the fact that it's obvious that a chemical agent, in this case a dual-use industrial chemical chlorine, was indeed used. It's still not telling us who did it, so there's no attribution. It's also a preliminary report and doesn't have really any full explanation of all the eyewitness accounts, how the bombs fell, where they may have come from and the like. So it's still very preliminary.
Paul, we're actually showing some of the pictures of what happened, images of men, women and children being treated with oxygen, hosed down with water, doctors reporting dilated pupils, blue lips, people struggling to breathe. Is this consistent with only a chlorine attack?
No, in fact, if there are pinpoint pupils, or if you're foaming at the mouth, if you lose body control and the like, it could very well be a nerve agent of some type. And the only nerve agent we've seen used in, or proven used in Syria so far by the Syrian military is sarin nerve agent. But I think it's also surprising, too, that 70 people have died because chlorine is not, particularly all that lethal except in very heavy doses. But the report itself from the OPCW, this comes over 3 months after the alleged attack in Douma in early April, does show that there were two large cylinders that apparently fell through the roof of an apartment building, one right into a bedroom and another onto a balcony. And that's a bit strange. We don't have any information yet on the circumstances around those cylinders, even though they showed traces of chlorine. So I think we still have to wait until the final report comes out. I expect in probably another month at the most, maybe 2 months. But the important point I would take away from this is chemical weapons are still being used. This is about 5.5 years after they first were alleged to be used in Syria. And the Syrians and their backers in Russia and Tehran continue to deny that this could be Syrian at all. If these two cylinders came from the skies in some fashion, and there are big holes in the roof right above them, it's inevitably the Syrian military, because nobody else there except the Russians, the Americans, and the Turks, have aircraft or helicopters in the sky. So I would tend to believe at this point, but it's still far from totally proven, that it's another of at least probably 8 or 10 proven accounts of chemical weapons by the Syrian military.